please do yourself a favor and avoid these mistakes when starting your corporate job. This may be surprising to you, but thinking that you have something to prove, coming with the mindset of I want to prove it to them that I can be good at this role, and coming in with a little bit of fear because you don't want to mess up, because you really want to be on your P's and Q's, because you want to prove to them that you are fit for this role. Let me let you in on a little secret. They hired you because they believed, and you have already proven to them that you are fit for this role. So what are you trying to prove again? The interview process and the application process is when candidates have to prove to the employer or the hiring manager that they have what it takes to succeed at this role. But if you're already getting paid, you already have the offer, you're walking into your first day at the company, you have nothing to prove. I want to encourage you to walk in that first day thinking, what about me will add value to this company? What about my team is lacking that I can fill in the blank for? It has nothing to do with having something to prove, but everything to do with bringing solutions and adding value. And that's the attitude I want you to have when you are starting your corporate career, when you're starting a new corporate job. What value can I add to the company? What value can I add to the team? This will totally change the way you see yourself first, and also the way other people perceive you, because you're not going to be seen as this person trying to, be perfect and not mess up. You're going to be seen as this person that is always trying to bring solution, being innovative, and add value. And trust me when I say, think about whenever something adds value to your life, you want to give that thing money, right? When you find some gadget that's like, oh my gosh, it makes my life easier, it adds value to my life, guess what? You're so ready to give them your credit card, give them cash to purchase this gadget. So I want you to be that person that you're always adding value to your manager's life, your director's life, your co-workers' lives, your clients' lives, so much so that they're always ready to give you more money, because you came in here with the mindset of, not that I have something to prove, but I want to add as much value as possible. And let me explain to you why this is so important. When you are always in the mindset of I have something to prove, it oftentimes gets you to hold yourself back, because you may not want to make a mistake, you don't want to write something wrong, you don't want to say the wrong thing, all those things, and that brings in a lot of fear. And guess what, you guys? Fear does nothing for you except for take your blessings away. Fear does nothing for you except for hold you back from your success. And when you're coming in with that mindset of, okay, I'm scared, I don't want to mess up, I want to make sure I'm perfect, I want to make sure I'm proving to them that I'm fit for this role, you are probably going to hold yourself back from doing a lot of things that you would have done if you were literally just thinking, how can I add value? What can I do differently? How can I be innovative? And while that might cause you to make some mistakes here and there, guess what? You're going to make mistakes anyway. So why not those mistakes be when you're trying to add value, and not when you're trying to fit into this position or this person that you think that they perceive you as, okay? I want you to let go of fear, let go of having something to prove, because you already proved it, and that's why you're getting paid. I want you to walk in there thinking, what about me is going to be beneficial for them? What do I know that they can be, they can start, using in their lives to make their lives easier? What about my skills can now apply to make this project go on faster? What about things that I've done before can I add to this project or to this team to make us operate at a higher level? Add value, rebuke fear. You have nothing to prove because you already proved it at the interview. This is what I want you to think at all times. I am blessing them with the opportunity to work with me, okay? Because I'm a very special person, okay? Everywhere I go, I bless, okay? Every team that I'm in literally gets better because I'm there. That's how I want you to look at yourself. That's what I want you to perceive yourself as, because when you do that, other people will start believing the same as well. So a lot of this is confidence, believing in yourself, because when you are so sure that whenever you enter a room, that room is automatically better because you entered it, that is what will happen, because you believe in yourself and other people will also believe in you. So say it with me. I am blessing them with the opportunity to work with me because I am awesome. All right? you got it. Next one is saying sorry all the time. I talk about this a lot in all of my videos because I really want people to get to a point where they're not sorry. When you look at the definition of sorry on Google, it literally says to be distressed or to be in deep remorse about something. Now, I know that there are situations where you actually may feel those feelings, but it's probably not 90% of the times that you're using the word sorry. So I want you to slash that urge to say sorry and instead be grateful. Let me explain. So if somebody is waiting for you and you're late for a meeting, you walk in, you join in on the Zoom like 3 minutes late, instead of saying sorry for being late, say thank you for waiting for me or thank you for your patience. And what that will do is that will get that person in the mindset of, oh wow, they recognize that I have had patience for them and waited for them, and not, oh my gosh, this person's always late. When you start out your day or your meeting with gratitude, let me tell you, that person is automatically gonna feel better, they're gonna be happier, even though you were late. Trust me, try it. Another thing that you could do too is when you make a mistake at work and somebody else catches it, instead of saying, oh my god, I'm so sorry, say, hey, thank you for catching that. I really appreciate you looking over my work. Even if it's your manager's job to look over your work, you literally thanking them for catching your mistake is a whole different mood than you being continuously sorry for making mistakes, because you're going to do things wrong. It's okay. You're gonna make mistakes. It's okay. CEOs make mistakes. It is okay. I have a whole video about not saying sorry and so many more explanations and examples to what you can replace sorry with. So I'll go ahead and place that down below and up above here as well. Not managing up. This is a huge mistake. What I mean by that is literally not putting your career in your own hands. I always tell people nobody else is going to be the biggest advocate for you except for God and yourself, okay? So make sure that you are managing up and letting people know what are your long-term goals. When you start this company, I want you to start with your director, your first meeting, and say, hey, this is where I see myself in a year. This is what I want to grow into. So therefore, you are literally telling them, this is where I want to go. You're thinking about long-term, and you're not expecting them to just magically read your mind to know where your long-term career goals are. This is really important. And I say this because oftentimes companies have, different promotion schedules, and you literally may just not know what it is. And sometimes if you don't speak up about wanting a promotion, company just will never promote you and never give you a salary bump. So don't be that person who just doesn't say anything and expects the company or your manager to know that you want to grow. They will not consider you if you do not speak up and let them know, hey, I'm trying to grow to this role. I'm trying to be this place in a year or 2 years or whatever the case may be. So it's really important to manage up in that way. Another way to manage up also is asking for feedback. I'm always asking my manager, hey, what do you think I did here? How did I do here? Because that is going to let me know how he thinks about my work, and that's also going to plant seeds in his head to take note about how well I'm doing as I go. Because if you don't make your manager, your director, whoever the case may be, think about your progression in your career, they won't. Okay, they have a lot to do. They have kids, they have their own jobs, they got friends, they got other things that they're doing in their lives. They're not thinking about how well you just presented to those executives when you are doing it. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about, oh good, the project is over, we have next step to do. So I want you to make your managers or your bosses think about how you did by literally asking them, hey, just finished this, how was that, how did I do? Like, what do you think about that? Just ask for both positive and constructive feedback, because it's gonna make them think about where you are in your career progression, and it's gonna allow you to know where your growth areas are and what you're already doing really well. This is really important. So I want you to manage up. Do not miss out on the opportunity to let people know where you want to be, and also make them think about how well you're doing as you're growing in your career. I want you to speak up during meetings. Now this might be one of the most annoying ones, but this is so important. Being quiet during meetings is a huge mistake a lot of people make when they're starting their corporate career, because they think, I'm new on the team, I don't want to cause any ruckus, I don't want to make any mistakes, I'm going to be quiet here, I'm going to be in the meeting, and then that's it. That is really bad, because you're not going to allow any anyone to know who you are, what kind of value you bring to the team. Again, there's that add value again, and also what they can come to you for. You want people to know what your role is. You want to create a role for yourself in a meeting, even if you haven't been given one, because then you're adding value to the team. Let me give you a quick example. So this is something that I tend to do a lot if I don't have a role in the meeting, is to take some quick notes or action items. I hate taking notes, so what I'll do is I'll just take some action items and I'll send it to my manager like, hey, this is what I caught during the meeting. Let me know if there's anything else, you know, that I missed. And that's simply for him to know, hey, she was listening, she knows what's going on in the project, she's aware of her surroundings. Even if it's my second week here and maybe I don't have necessarily a role yet, I am going to be adding value to the team by making sure they know that this is what their action items are, this is where we are in the project. And this is really huge. And it's actually honestly pretty easy. So make sure you're creating a role for yourself in projects, in meetings, and not being quiet. Even if you know that you're a very exciting person, you bring a lot of joy at home, bring that to your work, because I promise you it's very important to have another topic to talk about that's not the weather in the beginning of a conversation in meetings. And if you're really good with icebreakers, bring that to the team. I'm telling you right now, like, that is such a huge value add. It doesn't always have to be pertaining to work, as long as you're making, you know, meshing with the team a really easy environment for everyone, or maybe you're making the work easier, or you're just bringing up the mood in the conversation during a meeting. That is a huge value add, because people got things to do, people are stressed, and if you can bring them to be a little bit more happier during the meetings, that's awesome. So just think about any way that you can add value to the team. I'm gonna always say this because it's so huge. Last mistake is not putting your career in God's hands. This is really important because oftentimes we have no idea what is going on in the background, right? You may only know your team, but you don't know what the leadership structure looks like at the company. You may not know what's ahead, right? You may just know what you're currently working on. And this is why it's so important to tap into the unfair advantage of the Holy Spirit, okay? He is going to help you figure out what to do, what not to do. He is going to urge you and push you and help you to pray for your team. And it's just going to be a much more positive experience for you, because you don't have to worry about what you're not doing or what you don't know, because you put everything in God's hands. So I always encourage people to pray for their bosses, pray for their teams, pray for the leadership at their company, because like I said, you may not know what's going on in the background, but guess what? God does, and God got it under control, and everything works together for those who love the Lord. But I have a whole video about what happened when I prayed for my boss. I'll link it down below, but it's such a big testimony video for me, and it really opened my eyes to the fact that life is so spiritual, you guys, and you don't have to have everything under control, but you can give that control to God, and everything, literally everything, will fall in place for you. So here's a quick testimony that I like to share as well. So something that always happens for me is whenever I'm like late for something and I have a meeting, or I haven't done a task that I need to do for that meeting, I kid you not, without fail, my meeting will either get canceled or pushed back. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but I'm literally not kidding. Like, I'm never caught slipping at my job. And I give all glory to God, because I'm constantly praying about, you know, my job. I'm constantly praying about favor for my coworkers and the people that I work with and my boss and things like that. And literally, I know this is God, because there is no way something can happen over and over and over again without fail. Like, I never am late for anything, and I never not have things done. Not because I'm perfect, but because the meeting literally moves when I need it to move. Like, it's just literally insane. Like, the days where like I'll be in the car or something, a lot is going on, my manager will like push back the meeting. Not because I said anything, but he will just push back the meeting. So when I tell you guys, pray for your bosses, pray for your company, and pray for your coworkers, I'm not joking, because there are things that will just fall in line without you even like thinking about it or having to do anything, because you have now put your career in God's hands. So I really want to encourage any of you who are just starting your corporate journeys, if you're starting a new job, this is an opportunity for you to really get the best, you know, experience that you possibly can out of this. And I really want to encourage you, trust God, put anything in his hands and just watch it flourish. Now, if you don't know Jesus Christ, if you're like, who is this God, who is this Holy Spirit you speak of, I have the most perfect thing for you down below in the description box, but I really want to urge you, get to know God. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and give me a big like. Also, let me know, what are other mistakes that you should avoid when starting your corporate journey? If you guys want more mistakes that I avoid when starting a new corporate job, let me know and I'll go ahead and make a part 2 to this video. Comment down below if you guys have any questions, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.